Assalamu alaikum and welcome to grade 9. Hope you are well, and after so long we are going to talk through this social media and this technological uh, concepts. So I don't need to have any introduction, but we are going to start with our classes today, inshallah. We are going to start with our classes from the passages from the Holy Quran for special studies, and we will be doing two surahs this time, that is Surah Al-Ikhlas and Surah Al-Fatiha. Okay, here is the main theme, that is Allah in Himself, and this is Surah Ikhlas, where we can study that Allah Almighty alone is there, and He says that He is not having match with anyone. Its translation says that say He is Allah, कह दो कि वो अल्लाह एक है, the one and the only, और वो एक और यकता है, अल्लाह the eternal absolute, बेशक वो बेनियाज है, He does not beget nor is He begotten, ना उसने किसी को जना है और ना ही किसी ने उसको जना है. इसको आम ज़बान में हम कहते हैं कि ना तो वो किसी का बेटा है और ना वो किसी का बाप. एंड देयर इज़ नन लाइक हिम, और कोई उसका हमसर नहीं है. The theme of this passage is Allah in Himself, and it is actually in terms of His unique personality, and He tells us about the fundamental aspect of the Tawheed, that we must avoid from shirk, that is associating partners with Him at any level with His divine authority at all. In other words, we can say that we are supposed to avoid from any kind of challenge to Allah Almighty for His authority, as people before did in His time, and they were definitely perished by Allah Almighty. The main example of those people is Namrud, Shaddad, and Firaun, and etc. If anybody is having that kind of thinking, that kind of approach, that is condemnable today. Allah alone tells us that He is not having any match, so people should not do any kind of shirk, because He is pure from that, and He is the creator, the sustainer, the owner, the creator of the universe. Whoever is going to have that kind of claim, he is absolutely lying, because no one can have any kind of such claim at any level, because no one can do even a single smallest thing without the permission of Allah. We cannot even move about, so we must bow in front of Allah Almighty, and none other should be accepted like that. Importance of this theme is to purify ourselves and our souls from the mixing of the shirk, because it is the greatest of all the sins and it is unforgivable sin. So we must not involve ourselves in any kind of shirk or such kind of activity. So people should always bow in front of one and only Allah, who is the creator and the sustainer of the whole mankind. So whosoever bows in front of other and believes that other people or other objects can help anyone at any level, that person is absolutely in wrong way, because Islam does not accept such kind of thing. The Quran itself mentions in Surah Al-Baqarah and any other verse, it says, and your God is one God, कि तुम्हारा रब सिर्फ और सिर्फ वादहु ला शरीक एक ही है. And the other place again, Ayat al-Kursi's part, God, there is no God but He, कि अल्लाह के सिवा कोई भी इबादत के लायक नहीं है. So we must be very clear that we are supposed to associate with Tawheed, with monotheism, and we should only bow to Allah, and we should reject all other gods in forms of idols made up of stone or made up of wood or any other thing. Even if the posters are there and we bow in front of them, that is also considered as sin, and we must reject it. If we are in any kind of need we should ask Allah Almighty for help rather going in front of others and asking for that, because Allah Himself says that I am very close to you, and whatever you think, whatever you feel, and whatever you bear, Allah Almighty is well aware about it. So we must be very clear that we should not bow in front of any other being, and we should not even think about to bow in front of any being except for Allah Almighty, because He is the only one who deserves for that. Okay, here we are at main theme number 2, Allah's relations with the created world. The last surah we did was Surah Ikhlas, which was having the theme of Allah in Himself, and that was the last surah of that theme. Surah Fatiha is the most popular surah which is recited in every prayer 5 times a day, and it is also known as Fatihatul Kitab, Ummul Kitab, and Surah Fatiha, and etc. So we do recite this surah at our home in our regular way. The translation of Surah Fatiha, जिसको मैं आपके साथ उर्दू के अंदर भी शेयर करता हूँ ताकि तो आप उसको आसानी से समझ जाएं. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. शुरू अल्लाह के नाम से जो बड़ा मेहरबान और निहायत रहम करने वाला है. Praise be to Allah, तमाम तारीफ़ें उस अल्लाह की. The cherisher and the sustainer of the worlds, जो दुनिया का पालने वाला और दुनिया की परवरिश करने वाला है. Most gracious, most merciful, बहुत बड़ा मेहरबान और बहुत बड़ा रहीम. Master of the day of judgment, क़यामत के दिन का मालिक. You we worship and your aid we seek. हम तेरी इबादत करते हैं और तुझी से मदद मांगते हैं. Show us the straight way. हमें सीधा रास्ता दिखा. Some of the scholars say that it also can be translated as keep us on the straight path, कि हमें सीधे रास्ते पर कायम रख. The way of those whom you have given your grace. उन लोगों के रास्ते पर चला जिन लोगों पर तूने अपनी नेमतें नाजिल फरमाई. Not those who earn your anger, nor those who go astray. ना कि उन लोगों के रास्ते पर चला कि जिनसे तू नाराज हुआ और जो भटक गए और बर्बाद कर दिए गए. Theme of Surah Fatiha is God's relation with the created world. This was revealed in Makkah, and as you know and we all know that we do recite this surah in every first and second rakat of the prayers 5 times a day, and it is also known as Surah Al-Fatiha or mother of the book. This states that Allah Almighty is the only one who sustains the whole mankind, and He provides with rizq. Rizq is in form of grain and fruit and food and so many other stuff which are required for the mankind. Allah Almighty definitely has power to keep us on the straight path, but being a Muslim and being a common man, we will have to explore about the path of righteousness, so that Allah Almighty protect us from any kind of the misguidance of the shaitan. As we all know that shaitan is our bitterest and the clear enemy. That is why he is always with us and behind us to misguide us and to keep us on the wrong way. That is why in this passage or in this surah we do ask Allah Almighty for His support, for His guidance, for His help to protect ourselves from any kind of the trap of the shaitan which he is always trying to have and upon us. The importance of this passage is definitely very clear after I have given you the information regarding the theme, and that is going to explain that we must avoid from shirk. We must always ask Allah Almighty for His support, because He is the only one who can support us. Whosoever thinks that Allah Almighty is unable, na'uz billah, to support us, and we can ask anybody else to support, and we will be successful. Definitely such kind of person is wrong, and such kind of approach is also a satanic approach that is absolutely rejected in Islam. Allah has the attribute of mercy, and that is why on the day of judgment He will deal with all the people, sinner or the good ones, with justice, and He will definitely show His mercy and kindness for everyone, because Allah Almighty is the one who is always willing everyone to ask Him for His support, and He is ready to support for. So people must always try to ask Allah Almighty for His support and ask Allah Almighty for His assistance. The Quran says that and only on the day of judgment shall you be paid for your full recompense. That के उस दिन क़यामत के दिन तुम अल्लाह की तरफ से बिल्कुल प्रॉपर अंदाज में जज किए जाओगे उस चीज़ के ऊपर जो तुमने किया होगा. That is why we must be obedient servant of Allah. We must always try to bow in front of Him, and we must not go in front of any other being for any kind of support.